Please tattoo this in your brain. If you just focus on building the business that you're really thrilled to be running, not the one that you think will get you to a profitability number, you will blow through the $10,000 a month.
Some of my followers have been following my content for years, and they've been waiting on the sidelines for the right time or the right idea in order to get off the sidelines and into the game. One of those students is a woman named Jules. Jules and I got on a call when she got off the sidelines and into the game and attended a coaching call inside of our mentoring community, which is called the 1%. And since this was the first time that I got to engage with Jules one-on-one, I wanted to leave her with a very clear plan of how she could start to execute her road to $1 million.
Tell me what you're thinking about.
So right now I'm just documenting on TikTok. I am doing my landing page for the Facebook group, and I'm emailing my existing list, which is like 40 people.
And are those 40 people, are those journal buyers, or are those?
So I think half of them are, and then a lot of them are people I've just connected with for the past year or so.
Okay, and what's the thread that ties them all together? Like, why are they following you? Why are they on your email list?
I think mostly because we are on a similar path toward building a business that will allow us freedom, and we connect.
So they're entrepreneurs.
Yes, entrepreneurs. Okay. So initially it was entrepreneurs, like aspiring entrepreneurs, and then in the past week I think I've switched that to pivoting that to being high achievers that experience depression.
Let's just play with this for a second. Let's just say people who are going through a hard time, people who are going through a change, whether that's entrepreneurs or it's parents or whoever it is, it's just people who are in transition and going through a hard time. What else? Now, I recently went through this. I went through a lot of changes in the last year. So what would someone like me or someone like your person buy or seek when they're going through this transition, when they're going through a hard time?
I've asked myself this a lot. And for me, if I thought about when I was in that position, I wasn't looking for any products. I was looking for friendship. I was looking for I was looking for someone to connect with. And that's why I think doing the challenge and connecting with people are going to be that first step, because that's what sort of.
Well, hold on, you're very quickly going into the how.
Okay.
You're very quickly going from how I serve this person to how I get as many of these people as possible. All right, we can get there, but let's stay in what this person needs, wants, and what they might buy. Friendship and community is one sector of this. Yeah. So I will ask you two questions. You can answer them however you want. Okay. What does someone buy in this, or what does someone seek when they're craving friendship and connection? And or what else does this person buy or seek besides connection? You can answer either one.
I thought it would just be anything that would boost my productivity or mindset, because these are high achievers.
At the time you thought that, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so what did you seek or buy while trying to boost your productivity?
Well, I was always eating healthy stuff.
Okay, snacks.
I made sure I exercised every day. Yeah, I can't think of anything else. I didn't really consume much. I was just.
Did you take any supplements?
Just probiotics and.
Okay. And why? So why did you take probiotics, Jules? I think you're sitting really close to something, and so I'm going to be a little pedantic in this conversation because I think you're really close. And for those of you who are watching, I predict that you are about to have some braingasms watching Jules. And Jules, I'm not picking on you, but I'm picking on you a little bit. Jules is one of those people that has been following my work for a long time and thinking about this for a long time, and you're about to see some things click. And I want you to tune into this because some of you have been thinking about it for a long time, and you're about to see how close you are. Okay, so Jules, you mentioned snacks.
Yep.
You mentioned probiotics. And there's something interesting here. Why did you take probiotics while you were going through a hard time?
I think I just had that click moment. So I take probiotics because I've had gut, I guess, issues and problems with digestion for a while. And even before 3 years ago, before I was in this stage, I was in university, and that was when I first ever encountered depression and anxiety. And what I learned going from my psychologist was that anything that was happening in my brain, my gut would feel it.
Yes! She's getting it! She's seeing it, ladies and gentlemen! She's seeing it!
So if I was stressed or whatnot, my stomach was stressed and I was always bloated. I was having I couldn't eat anything. I was feeling really, really frustrated to the point where I was hurting myself. I just wanted to rip my gut. I just wanted a stomach transplant. I just really didn't like my stomach. And I kept blaming on the fact that like I had bad digestion issues, but it was all in here. It was all in the mind. And even now I see that when I'm feeling happy, I don't have as many stomach problems.
Yes.
I don't think about my stomach. I don't focus on like what's going on in my stomach.
Yes.
I'm just chasing things that excite me or things that make me happy.
Yes.
Yeah,
All right, so Jules, let me ask you something else.
Okay.
Do you know where serotonin is made? It's made by bacteria in your gut. Hey, you see where I'm going with this?
Yes.
Okay. So, I'm so excited right now, Jules.
This is great because I finally have a second thing that actually I feel really strongly about that. Okay, probiotics.
Okay. All right. So we now have a couple things that you feel strongly about, but do you see how this is very quickly becoming a mental health brand?
Mm-hmm.
Like journaling can be very effective for mental health. Mm-hmm. Taking care of your gut can be very good for your mental health. You mentioned exercise. You mentioned healthy snacks. These are all things that matter. You can probably also look up the studies between mental health and dark chocolate.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So these are all consumables around mental health, plus a journal. Is there anything else that might start to round out what would make it easier for someone to take care of their mental health?
A big one for me was meditation. I just wanted a product for that. It was mostly like listening to meditation podcasts, and I subscribe to Headspace. So I'm trying to think of like something physical
there are like I sometimes use there's this meditation spray it up each nose, and it sort of like helps relax you during meditation.
Okay.
That's one. Now, another thing I want to bring up with you though, Jules, is you said people really need community. If you focus on the community, but you don't worry about making it the product, it is a way to really build a raving audience that loves your stuff without you having to monetize the community. You could say the same thing about meditations. For example, if you have a partner or a team member or a community member who does guided meditations, and you release them for free, you're still serving that person, and that person becoming a raving fan, even though they're not giving you money. Mm-hmm. And does that make them more likely or less likely to buy a meditation cushion from you, or a greens powder from you, or a probiotic from you? Makes it more likely. Would you agree with that?
Yes.
So your job is to now see the person struggling with depression and say, how do I serve this person? You've given me several products that you feel conviction about. And then you have these other ways that you can serve them that build audience, that build community in service of that person. Mm-hmm. How are you feeling right now?
Excited. I have within the Facebook group, and then just thinking all the different ways that I can serve them during that challenge as well throughout the week. And meditation was one of them. Just offering them all the guides and resources that I had when I was going through that time.
Yes.
And helping them move just from the position of being that dark spot to feeling like hope is there, and they can start the transition to moving to abundance. And
do you remember when you were depressed, how much you just wanted a glimmer of hope?
Yeah.
Like a glimmer of hope meant everything.
Yeah, it was all I had. And
can you imagine a business, Jules, where your job was to be the glimmer of hope for people who are in despair. Now, what would that look like? That looks like saying there are lots of ways to start to turn this ship around. And I studied all of them. And my job is to give you a few things that can be that glimmer of hope. Mm-hmm. And sometimes that is just taking the pre-workout that allows you to go for a freaking walk. Sometimes that is the sleep supplement that is really good, that is really strong, so that your morning is 10% better. Sometimes that is the meditation spray that gives you a 20-minute break to yourself. Sometimes that is the gut supplement that allows your body to produce more serotonin, right? This is your business, not mine. I'm just riffing off some of the ideas we've talked about. So that could be the journal that gets somebody back into a better mental place. So all of these are glimmers of hope. And how awesome is it that you get to build a business that creates glimmers of hope for your audience? Does that make you want to go in on serving these people?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. Does that make you want to interview people who have had transformation stories about wanting to end their lives and sharing their medications or their processes or their thought loops that helped them transition into getting their life back? Does it make you want to do that?
Yeah, 100%.
Does it make you want to create content about the despair you felt and how you overcame it and work and be in the comments with people who are struggling? Does that make you want to do that?
Yeah, it's I think more than anything, it's making me feel emotional. That's where it's hitting. So I know that this is going to be a sustainable thing.
Yeah. Now let me ask you something, Jules. This is going to be a little bit of a weird question.
Yeah.
If you had that business and you only made 10K a month profit, would you be happy running the business?
Be fucking happy, yeah.
Yeah. And I asked that specifically because to me, and in this business, 10K a month is not a lot. Mm-hmm. Right? It's if you don't have a $10,000 a month within about 6 months, you're just not making decisions. You're just not moving forward. So if you only ever got to the point where it was profiting $10,000 a month, but you were happy running this business, it's still a win for you, which is what you're telling me. But I am here to tell you, and please get this, please tattoo this in your brain. If you can focus on the business that you're really happy running, not the one that you think will get you to a profitability number. If you just focus on building the business that you're really thrilled to be running, you will blow through the $10,000 a month. And here's why. Because you'll care about your person, you'll care about your product, you'll do the things that make a business grow, and you won't be doing them from a place of wanting to get something. You'll be doing them from a place of creating real value and transformations for these people.
Making 5K in profit was just my goal for the longest time. That's all I wanted.
I want you to delete that goal. A, because that goal is way too small.
Yeah.
and B, because that goal is not helping you move forward. Mm. It's simply not, because you told me this. I don't know this about you. Told me that joining the 1% was a difficult financial move for you recently. The 1% is not expensive. Mm. So you having this goal of $5,000 a month profit, it's not getting you to an abundant place. In fact, that's like, you have a very low bar for yourself because you're used to operating in a little bit of scarcity.
Right.
So I want you to flip the whole thing. And I want you to start thinking about, how do I create a business and a path for people that gives them glimmers of hope? And when you ask that question, rather than how do I get to the 5K a month, the business will grow. Let's just pretend that in your brain, you were able to really let go of the goal. Mm-hmm. And you were really committed to creating unbelievable products and just serving these people and just sharing your heart with them, because I know you care. If that was your only focus, I guarantee you somebody reaches out and is like, Jules, I really like what you're doing. Are you taking on any investors right now? I guarantee you that there would be an influencer that reached out to you and be like, you want to come on my podcast? I really like what you're doing. I promise you that stuff will happen.
Yeah.
And those are the things that will just crush. 5,000 a month is just like, you'll be like, that was cute. But you have to do it because it's the business you want, not because it will bring you to the result.
Yep. 100%. I think it was that whole mindset shift, I think, in the past year or two, where I've just stopped thinking about the 5K, the 10K, and now it's just about finding my people. So I am thinking a lot bigger now in terms of what I want to create, what I want to build. It's no longer about this 5 or 10K. Although I know if I had 5 or 10K, if I was making 5 10K a month, I'd be happy. But it's no longer the goal. It is.
Let me just clean up that thought a little bit, because there was some gunk in that thought. Okay. So what you're really saying is, if the business was producing $5,000 to $10,000 a month, you'd be satisfied with what you could take off the table with this business. Not, I would be happy.
Yeah.
But like, that's all you need in order to feel like you're on the right track, which is amazing, because now you can roll everything into this business. You can just go hard on this business, giving to people and rolling out more products. And Jules, I cannot overstate how quickly this can happen if you just tune into that. And that is your only aim.
Yeah.
Picking up what I'm laying down?
Yes. No, it's what you were saying about, if I had that 5K, 10K, that's when I would leave my job. I would go into this full time. I can actually use that to then reinvest and make things bigger.
And you don't need to do it right now. You don't need to quit the job right now. You don't need to go all in right now. Your job right now is to start creating glimmers of hope with your products, with your content, with your comments, with your interactions. In fact, if you don't have a name for this business, Glimmers of Hope is a pretty good name.
I do need a brand name, so.
Okay.
I love it. Thank you, Ryan.
Jules, I'm so excited you're here. And I want you to, like, first of all, we so got your back, right? Like, we so have you. You're in the right place. But also, like, I can see it. So my job is to hold that for you until you believe it as much as I do. Okay. But I will remind you, this business is a layup. Sometimes we need to be reminded that we're on the right track. It's this man's opinion, and I don't know everything, but I know building $1 million businesses pretty well. I can tell you, I believe this is a very good track for you.
Thank you, Ryan. I need that.
Appreciate you.
Welcome. Too, for being present here.
All right. See you, Jules.
See ya.
Heck of a first call for Jules, wouldn't you say?